Yeah. The more I give, it seems the more the man he wants. Yes, he does. I'm gonna push on through. Do the things I do. Yes, I will. You can go your way, and I will go my own. Say the love of the Almighty Jah will lead me on. You can go your way.
Mic check. Yes, greetings. How you doing out there? How has your week been?
Day after day, I pray and I pray. We could all just learn to live and love one another. A world without no wars, no boundaries, because we need to learn more of the meaning of sharing and caring. Everyone needs someone, yeah.
Yes, we need each
Remember
other.
that to no man is an island.
No, no way.
No.
It's an island.
So don't be afraid to give a helping hand. Tell me, am I not my brother's keeper? Let me know. Show love.
Yes, it's time to show some love. You know, we're in a time where we need now to lean on one another. You know, so I hope that it's been a good week, or, you know, whatever trials and tribulations that you've been up against, that you've been able to overs. Yeah? Anyway, yes, what can I say? You know, other than greetings, and I hope, you know, really have had a good time this week. I hope certainly that one is doing fine. And first and foremost, my respect to the ancestor on whose shoulders I do stand, you know. Again, to the management and engineers for making this program possible. To bless Radio 1, to afford us these blessings to know thyself more for the benefit of our community. My respect again goes out to the kings and queens out there, active in the fight for justice. And again, because with no justice, there is no peace. For myself, it's been a busy week in protests all over, some of which I have supported and been part of the planning. You know, I welcome back N from Hard Talk Diplomacy, and I look forward to our engagement a little more. A salute to the soldiers and the generals on the front line taking the stand, not kneeling nor bowing at this time. Respect again to the Joy Gardner family for their enduring strength, and to those who give their support to their cause. Yeah, just excuse me, people, to see if I can take this song. Hello?
Hi.
Okay, how you doing?
I'm fine, absolutely fine. So
Okay.
it's good to connect now that we're beginning to ease out of this COVID lockdown.
Okay.
How have you been doing?
Well, I've not been too bad personally, but in so saying, I had an upset on Friday, being honest. You know, I lost the king out of my pond. You know, the sturgeon, which is just over 2 foot long and sharp. You know, it pains me, but nonetheless, I just bury him, you know, because as much as he has the size, he's not edible. You know,
Oh,
not that I would have been able to eat him anyway because of the attachment as a pet. You know, but him look good, you know, but yeah, I made, I don't know, I can't even describe it. For whatever reason, the outlet from the tank, the pond, the pump, it slipped out. I don't know how it slipped out. For a period of time I was thinking it might have been deliberate, but there's nobody that would have been able to do that, you know. And then I eventually traced that the water went to the back, and it just disappeared because of the leaves. And when I realized they were struggling at the bottom of the pond, so there wasn't any water, so I set about putting the hose in there, and not really concentrating on the content of the chlorine. you know, and I believe it's the chlorine that had the better of him. But again, I was distracted because I was doing the show on Friday, COVID Gate. Well, it wasn't called COVID Gate. It was with Seven, and yeah, I neglected the responsibility. You know, I was up and about, but I didn't put the pump back on, and I think the water was too pure or clear or whatever. But yeah, I lost the sturgeon, man, and I think to replace that fish must be all about 600 to 800 pounds, man. But you can't replace them. You don't buy them at that size. They just grow into that and mature to them size.
Exactly. So not only did you bleach him, you suffocated him.
I don't me do it. I don't dash the money just like that. You know, but yeah, I had made a commitment to do the show, you know, and yeah, obviously I didn't want to let the community down and the side, the team down. So
Mm.
yeah, it's a lesson learned, but all things will come back into place, you know. But yeah, I was just going through the introduction, you know, as to where things are at, and just paying respect again to our ancestors. You know, it's fantastic to hear your voice again over this platform, and looking forward now for a steady run through the summer, you know, and to really build back up from where we had left off. Because on the other side, you know, we were doing concept to Ras, and now it's on the other hand where we're saying enough is enough, which is, you know,
Yeah.
we've always had a double-edged sword dealing with. And
Mhm.
the people out there, I'm sure at the beginning, would have viewed what we had presented to them to be somewhat challenging. Some, you know, say it's derogatory, but I'm sure from the experience they've been going through since this COVID-7, they themselves must have been wondering what's happening, you know.
Oh, yeah, I'm
And
sure.
yeah, and use that term quite a few times to themselves, you know.
Mm.
But yeah, again, I was out, and people are basically trying to rip the T-shirt off my back because they're saying enough is enough. That's exactly how they're presently feeling, you know.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
yeah, for today we're anticipating at around about 8:30 onwards that there's a young man that I met, a father, at a function. I believe it was on Saturday or Friday, over in Turnpike Lane, that little recreation area. And he's a father of a young man that had been threatened with tasers, you know, whilst they were out bike riding in a charity, for a charity that they were supporting. So
Yes,
he will
I saw the video. It's terrible.
yeah, so he will be phoning in.
Mhm.
Again, I'm not too long spoke to Graham. He's tied up, but again, obviously, at some point I will get him into the studio.
So
And
when you say Graham, you mean Graham Burke, Joyce Gardner's son, yeah?
yeah, he'd been out
Okay.
today. Yeah, he'd phoned me a couple of times, you know, but you know, I've always got to have time and patience and that endurance, you know, because yeah, young men, they're busy doing what they're doing and trying to keep their head above water, you know. I
But
must
you
share
were
with
a
you.
young man once, weren't you?
Yeah, I still.
You should know.
No, well, I'm saying I was out yesterday. Some people are saying I'm still young, but that young that they're talking about is looking young for my age. You know, but you know,
Well, it runs in the family, cause
yeah, but again, I was gonna say looking young and feeling young are two different things. You know. So yeah, yesterday again, I think it was the last of was it the summer solstice, or I don't even know how this thing go, but we were over in at the marshes with my brethren, Amawali Rupert M. Huru, and with some drummers. You know, we're aiming to get 1,000 drums. Can you imagine? And we're at 35 at the moment that are turn out. But again, we are aware that there's a number of people that we do know that had been at previous events that weren't there. You know, so we would consider yesterday as being a fantastic turnout at the
talk to me
Marshes.
about the drumming. Talk to me about it. What do you mean? You want 1,000 people drumming. Tell me
Well-
what the effect is, the reason. Talk to me.
Yeah, well, not at this particular time because I'm just running through. But I mean, an overview of it is that we're aiming by, I think it's the 22nd of August, because there are some main dates that's been highlighted. I had the brother on last week's show that had given an outline. So, like for yourself is not aware, there are the public out there, but I think everybody is entitled to know. Yeah, the idea since the passing of our dear beloved brother Dougie was the impact of
May
playing
him
the
rest
drum.
in peace. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
sad. That
yeah.
that hit me.
Yeah, that impact that triggered the car alarms to go off. We want to continue that because he clearly had shown me something that I shared with the group, and I've embarked on a journey with them, so much so that I've actually started to learn to play the drum. Well, I know
You couldn't beat naturally, cause.
well, that's what I was gonna get to. Yeah, I'm
Right.
saying I've now kind of put my spirit in the thing.
Because even I can play drums. You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know, but then when we say play, that means you've got to be able to play to the tune, because we've got a unity beat and there's a meditation beat that we're presently teaching
All right.
our group or say the members. So we're not just individuals playing our own tune. We're a group who is playing the same song.
So it's almost like a 1,000 drumming chorus orchestra.
Orchestra.
Orchestra, the
Yeah,
drumming orchestra.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one that can take a stand, and amplify and echo our message without the need to kneel, bow, or march.
Yeah, this is our beat.
Yeah, to the beat.
Mhm.
Yeah, so to the beat we take a stand. So yeah, and a lot of embracing yesterday. Social distancing also, of course, but love is love,
No, it's not. Not in COVID-19.
Yeah.
They're telling us love isn't love.
I know you would come in on that, so I was trying to excuse myself out of it.
Yeah,
One-
excuse yourself.
and confuse myself. Yeah. So yeah, it's been quite painful. On Friday, I think I was in Turnpike Lane. There was a Black Lives Matters protest, and I'm really having problems kneeling. Seriously.
Why?
I don't see, because I know kneeling is in submission, and my submission accustomed me is like when you bow to the Creator, when you know that there's a higher being to yourself. You don't have no problem to kneel. Yeah?
Listen, let me expand on that.
Well, me don't know you are going to expand upon it, because
But
that's really
listen.
how me feel.
Cousin, let me tell you how I feel.
Okay.
Kneeling is subjective.
Of course.
It was the kneel that took George Floyd's life.
Yeah, so why are we
Every
kneeling?
time we kneel, we are replicating that act. The point is, when we kneel, we have to stand up, because the phrase is stand up to racism. It's not kneel.
Yeah,
So
well,
listen,
yeah,
if
I'm-
people asking me to kneel, I'm standing.
yeah, but that's the point I'm making. I'm saying I'm having
Yeah.
a problem kneeling. I don't see the reason as to why we should be kneeling, because that is submission.
Yeah, but we're replicating the very act that took the life of George Floyd.
Okay.
I don't need
well,
to replicate it. I don't need to kneel before anybody except
the Creator.
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I view it. So I take it probably for what we're doing this week. Yeah, in regards to Julio, the Joy Gardner family and the Windrush generation who had suffered all this embarrassment, trauma, and everything associated with injustice. That we take a stand and we keep standing. And I'm not into this bowing thing. Can't agree. Me and it can't agree. It would appear that I've lost you. Okay, you back?
Did you cut me off?
No,
Did
no,
you
no.
cut me off?
Why would I do that? And it's me that's talking. If me ever cut you off, it's best I cut you off when you're talking, isn't it? That don't make sense.
I understand. I understand. Listen, the sooner we can get this on Zoom so that everybody can see and join in, it would be better. So much better.
Yeah,
Yeah?
well, I'll echo that. I echo that. You know,
We
so
need to get a Zoom. We need to get this show on Zoom.
Well, I'm not sure as to how that ties in with management. So that at the present stage, I'm on a journey where I'm looking to work with as a team with, you know, in unity with myself, community, and everybody. So that is
Yeah.
an issue. That is something else for the future, or the near future, because again, oftentimes we're so tied up, and we're now being trained or being familiarized with that process of Zoom. It was the Zoom that took my fish.
It was you. It was you that took your fish.
No, well,
Don't
it's
blame
that,
Zoom.
it's you know, the comfort being at home, and then I vacated the seat so many times. Was to go and have a check on, but by then it was dark, because listen, this show didn't finish till almost about 12 o'clock.
But you got floodlights in your garden. You should have sorted out your fish, man.
Yeah. Well, that again is another thing. That is another thing.
Don't blame anybody but yourself. You killed your fish.
Yeah, I have got to take responsibility for that, I suppose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but anyway, so that's me. So what have you been up to?
I have been.
And you only have 5 minutes, because I'm expecting
Oh, all right.
Andrew to phone.
Shush. I have been in lockdown heaven. Okay? I have been absolutely improving on my clientele for my business, my estate planning business. I've done some courses. I've further educated myself. I have sort of joined all sorts of Zoom experiences. Yeah, I've just been in lockdown heaven. It's
Yeah, well,
now time to break out as soon as it's safe and let people realize that, you know, there is life after COVID-19.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, I akin that to from rehab back to life, because I've been sharing that with my brethren, Tamara Gabriel, who had released a book. He had launched a book, and it so happened to be called From Rehab to Life. I made a comment to him before the rehab started that this book, it in a sense is taken out of life into rehab, which, you know, it's that voluntary lockdown when they ask us to lock ourselves up. That, I mean, it's just so unfortunate that when we started, this thing came. I don't know if they could see the potential of what was going to be revealing to Joe public, you know, but for whatever reason, the lockdown came, and others have rinsed out the COVID-19 and all those things. I'm just wondering as to how people find things to talk about that everybody else isn't talking about already, you know. There's so
much to this.
I know, but I mean, we're so prepared that, you know, we had the beginning, and now we've got the end, you know. So we've taken them from rehab, and we intend to take them back into life, because there's a lot of people that don't have the confidence, you know, to come out of their doors. They were doing like what Boris was doing before he went into the hospital, which was peeping out at number 10. You know,
but
like
that's almost me.
No, well, I know that. I know that. I mean, you're still officially in lockdown.
I'm officially in lockdown.
Yeah, you're still officially in lockdown. But like myself, you know, it's like, oh, God bless, no man curse, you know. And,
I'm blessed, but I'm taking no chances.
Yeah, well, some of us, you know, we have to move with caution. We all can't be doing the same thing at the same time, you know, because the race has to be preserved. You know what I'm saying? So some of us who are on the front line, they know to fight on the front line, because, you know, we are armored a different way at times, you know. So yeah, I've been out there, and It's not been easy, but I have to say respect to the frontline soldiers who do what they have to do.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Myself and the same brother, Omawali, we were at the Hyde Park, so the drums was there to calm the situation, and then afterwards, after the march, when the EDL, they were on their way and they was cutting through the park and they were looking for trouble, and telling the music, the power, and to see as to how even the police, they had was to do what they had was to do and to keep them separate from us, but we just form a ring and we just hold strong, so yeah, there's a lot of power in what we're proposing to do with this group, and also obviously with ourselves in what we're embarking with concept to wrath. Enough is enough, and to be able to
Hard
deal
talk
with hard,
diplomacy. Yeah.
yeah, and again with hard talk diplomacy, because it's only through the hard talk that we're going to get to the right conclusions, solutions,
Truly.
So that's why I'm excited again and looking forward for you for break to break out. But to a certain extent, maybe you could operate from home, and as going to be the case when a young man phone in, we'll be able to give some direction. I spoke to the solicitor, Marcus. He says another couple of months before the practice is open, but he was busy. So he won't be able to join us this evening, unless obviously he finds some time, and he's still welcome to phone in if he is listening.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot in the pipeline. Again, I must thank you in public for all the good work that you've done in putting the flyer together for this weekend. And I know it's really impressive, when you look on the program, the caliber of people who is going to be there to speak, at the end of the day, I know people, they're going to look and say, well, Ross, are they going to be there? But I don't use this term lightly, because we represent anything that we put our minds behind. That is the consequence. We're not bowing, we're roaring. So we encourage, those of you out there as listeners or in your businesses, we are the ones in the long term that you need to be with. And I'm saying that because, I'm not no hurry come up. I've journeyed. I'm coming from Stephen Lawrence campaign, well, Roland Adams, who was before that, to the Joy Gardner, which is more relevant now. And again, I was sharing that Ash had sent up something which was showing an incident, I think back in 86, no, it can't be 86, 96 or 26.
It was the first death in custody.
No, this one was televised. It was
It was televised.
it was on it was recorded, so I wouldn't imagine it was that far back. But yeah, we are where we are on the battlefield, on the front line, but we've made ourselves available for you, the listeners out there, that you'll be able to speak confidently in a manner that I know, like my brother Dougie would have done, is that you find your voice, and then
May he be forever remembered.
yeah, well, the way we are deal with it, he can't ever be forgotten, because the drums is not a easy thing to wrestle with, as Bob said, when that hit you, you ain't gonna feel no pain, but if your heart not right, we are gonna make sure we stop it. You understand? We are gonna hit you with some vibration that you are gonna short circuit. You understand? So we have good intention. But the weak hearts, them, are those who are in denial, are trying to create these false illusions, And again, I must say respect and big up to 007s, who had hosted COVID Gate conference and the Zoom chat on Friday. Is a sister that I'm even coming to realize that we're I think we're under the same star sign, and 007, as you know, Sevens is my dad's pet name, and everything seemed to be connected. I don't know if you was aware. I went to Glastonbury as well.
Oh, yeah, you sent me the pictures of you up
Okay.
on the hill.
Okay. Yeah, some things really going on, and Galactic Clyde and others, you know. So the brothers and the sisters, we're trying to deal with a lot of things, which is going to open up our mindset, or obviously create some form of an awakening, and for us to reconnect with our spirituality, which ultimately, you know, deals with our mentality, which then leads to our actions. You know.
So what did you think of the hallowed place, Glastonbury?
What do I think? It is mystical, but again, I went in a manner that I had an open, what do you say, an open mind. You know, there's a lot of things that I don't understand, but I've got an open mind where I can take things in the confidence that obviously I have a good heart and my intentions are good also. So as long as I have that, God is within me and I'm good. So me not worry about nobody. You know, but then I presented myself in a manner that me have on my Ras t-shirt. On the back of my t-shirt, they say enough is enough. I have on a hat which I brought back from the Gambia when I went to Africa for the first time. You know, and I dress in a manner that when you look upon me, you have to say, Ras.
You're a rebel. You're a rebel. You are a walking demonstration.
Yeah, and then I had my mobile walking stick, which is I see it. You understand? But by the time you look upon my stick, you know, say it's a weapon really. So you just go keep you just go keep way. You understand? So no, the way I present myself, I social distance. Nobody now come near me.
Yeah,
You know, unless me sit down. You know what I'm saying? And then when I sit down and we started to play the drums up in the, I don't even know what it is. It's a tour. I don't understand, and I don't really even want to get to understand it too much. I just take my spirit there, and I know that what was done, we done it proper, you know, because we paid the respect to Marcus Garvey, our ancestral thing. And as far as I understand of Glastonbury is akin to Mecca. Is that the place where people go on their pilgrimage? Yeah, because it's in that area of Stonehenge.
Yeah, the ley lines.
Yeah, you understand? So me just take myself because the spirit tell me to go there, so. You know, which again, you know, my journey started from last year when I went to Jamaica, did libation. You know, did what was to be done. Well, so the spirit tell me to do, or the ancestors draw me to do, and I've done that after 50 years of being in England, which again, I think amplified further the hostility around our Windrush generation. And again, even come Saturday, I've linked up with a number of my colleagues within Enfield, because it seems that there's so many of us within Enfield have had this bad experience, you know, from Home Office and both governments, well, not both governments, but all the political parties, you know, which I think we're at a crossroads now where we can clearly say that all of these institutions are white supremacists to the extent that they're all institutionally racist, you know,
That's a big
against...
statement. That's a big statement.
Well, I mean, it's become factual because I'm not saying that from being on the outside. I'm saying it from having been on the inside. You know, the only party I haven't joined, it would appear to be the Conservatives.
And when you're joining them then?
Me, when I reach Jamaica or Africa, and I have something to really conserve. You know, but yeah, for now, I think to go that way, it's obvious that it's not going to serve my community, unless we're in there in the dozens, because unless you can cover your base, you're not going to be effective. That's one thing I know for certain, you know. So, yeah, I don't, well, I can't put anything out as to say, well, I won't or I can't. You know, I have to go wherever the ancestors to a certain extent take me, and where family would allow me, you know, because I'm coming to realize that the sacrifice sometimes it's a bit much, but for whatever reason we feel that we can't put down the baton until we find someone to hand it over to. And unfortunately, I think a number of us as elders, yeah, are coming to realize that the younger generation maybe not as prepared as we would like them to be. But I am encouraged again, even here in Haringey, to have met a young lady over at the Broadwater Farm Rec, and we've been in contact, communication, and she's even got our T-shirts now wearing. So I say more strength to her bow, that she will be able to continue and to impact on the youths. And again, like you see, I'm trying to get Graham now to take on that baton, particularly for the Joy Gardner campaign, himself with his sister Lisa, that I think they would offer quite an effective team, together. And again, even recently this week, I've been spoken to some of or one particular leader within the council or within the borough here, that they're intending to honor her, by naming a close after her. But that's a promise. So me being a suspicious person, I'm just wondering if that's just to calm measures for the time that we're in right now, because we again have to take a stand and not be complacent in thinking.
So what do you think? They want to be seen to be doing something.
Well,
after all this time.
Well, it is the case. They and it's not a choice. They want to be seen to be doing. But I think where we've got them, if we reverse the scenario which is being presented to us, I think we have in fact got them now under our knees. And I'm saying knees insofar as our will, because I think even on the show on Friday, what it has exposed to me, I think it's that same kind of Jim Crow rule, or what do you say, that strategy that they brought in to prolong things for a further 100, 200 or whatever they desire. I think they're trying to do that even now with this Black Lives Matter. Black life has always matters. But for myself, I think what matters most is if we are able to liberate our minds as to who we are. So if we know ourselves and the powers that lies within us, and the nature to which we have, that even our enemies we can love, and to know that the preservation of this planet or this environment supersedes or is more important. And I'm saying that including the life, the nature, the animals, and including our beings, humans as well. That is the most important thing. It's not the elite that should have the upper hand, because ultimately they don't do. They tend to live comfortable, and then we sweat and labor, and they enjoy the spoils of our sweat. So there's so much that's out there yet to be done, But I'm listening out keenly now to see as to whether this young man is gonna be phoning. Otherwise, we can talk, but we didn't really come in here to talk, But let me give out this phone line and then we can continue. If you're there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay, right. You, the listeners out there, the number for the studio, 079 444 31366. How has been your week? How are you coping? How are you looking forward for your journey back out into the world? What is it as real as it was before? How are you going to deal with coming out of rehab and back into life? What kind of life have you been having, and what kind of life is there out there awaiting you? So these are the things that we want to engage with. We want to debate. We also want to make that link up with those entrepreneurs, all of those that deal with our young people, because real active structured supported solutions is is an acronym, or RAS is an acronym of Real Active Structured Supported Solutions. It's not just RAS for RAS sake. You know, we're not that ignorant within ourselves. And also on the flip side, we know as to how the mindset of those who think they are holier than thou. You know, speak is spokey. Yeah, so we've also given you WRATH, which deals with your mindset and your spiritual take. Yeah, we say there that God is not best pleased with us. He's concerned for our well-being, our relationship, our attitude, where our truth lies and where we trust. Yeah, and where we place our hopes as well as our aspirations. Yeah, so that is the wrath of God, and then the wrath which then deals with the secular. Yeah, so I'm such a troublemaker to a certain extent that I still end up with two wraths. Yeah, so they can't get away from it. And the time that we're in, I'm asking of us, particularly, that we have to take a stand. We need to let them know we're vexed because we're fed up of the whip. We're fed up of the injustice. Yeah, there's so much that we fed up of that I think we ended up, yeah, where our back is against the wall. And when you go around our back now, then you see we say enough is enough. You understand? So that has been my journey. And my co-host again, you know, N, she will have her spin, you know, so I would say we ain't getting no calls, so
experience and the concern that goes with it. But as an old-time campaigner, I'm very much familiar, yeah, with in part as to what, and I'm conscious, obviously, that for myself, from what I heard, I believe it was on Friday or Saturday, that, you know, I have to reach out, you know, to yourself and offer my support as well as some support from the community. So yeah, if you could let the community know, those who have not had access to the information, whether it be on the news, in the local, not local, in the national papers, because it did provoke a national interest. Yeah. So if you could let the people know, yeah, just give them the story, the whole thing, and where things are at presently, and then what support you might need from us in the future. And we're assuming, obviously, that there's some legal representation to which you had. We were open also to have engaged with a legal member.
Okay.
Yeah, so as long as you're on this platform, we can help because we're real active structured supported solutions. Yeah, so please let the public know where we're at and what it is that you would require of us in help to make sure that you get the justice to which you're seeking.
Okay. All right. I'll start at the beginning then, and I'll take you through.
Okay.
So, about a few weeks ago now, the incident occurred. It was on the 4th of June. I was on a charity bike ride with my 13-year-old son, Hugo. We set out, we live in Tottenham, so we set out towards Markfield Park area, South Tottenham. Took us about 10-15 minutes to cycle there, got there. There was an incident in Markfield Park, there was a police cordon there. So when we got there, we saw the police cordon. I also am a football coach in the area for Parkview Rangers.
Wow, okay.
So we got to this incident and we thought maybe, you know, let's have a look, myself and my son, just in case there's someone from our local team that might be involved or something. There's loads of kids that join all the teams throughout the club. Anyway, so we didn't see anything, you know, to do with the kids, etc. We kept our distance, and maybe about 50 meters away, we just parked up under a tree on our bikes. We normally go out on a bike ride with the whole family, but for some reason, the missus and my daughter normally come. It was just myself and Hugo this time. We set off from there, you know, when we saw that there was nothing going on, and continued to cycle along the canal. So the canal is, we were heading towards sort of Tottenham Hill, and we were pedaling for, I don't know, not more than 2 to 4 minutes. And then all of a sudden, well, Hugo stopped ahead of me, it's my son, to see where I was. I was probably about 10 meters behind him. So he had his head turned, and just as he was about to turn back, start pedaling towards, Tottenham Hill along the canal, somebody just jumped out at him, grabbed his arm, and obviously we're in coronavirus time, so he was instinctively kind of scared and afraid. He thought he was being attacked, someone trying to spread the virus or something.
Okay, so this person was in plain clothes, ordinary clothing.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it was actually a police officer, but at the time he didn't know. As far as he's concerned, it was a crazy person trying to grab him.
Yeah.
He jumped out at him, grabbed him. He tried to release himself from this person. That person was shouting in a rage, etc. He still didn't know who it was, so he bolted, went into fight or flight mode, bolted towards the bushes because he couldn't go towards the canal because of water. He didn't know it was thorny rose bushes, so ended up in the bushes, getting scratched up. His face was scratched.
Oh no.
He was all scratched up. He tripped over in the bush. He was then pursued into the bush by the officer. Again, he still didn't know it was the officer. The person pulled out a taser.
Oh no.
Tripped her over, and basically he'd fallen over. The guy was standing over him with the taser, threatening to discharge it. All this time I was behind my son, and I went to try and defuse the situation. I was still on my towbar, and then an officer came from the side of me, also brandishing a taser, aiming it at me, saying, "Look, stop," shouting angrily as well, "Get on your knees," etc. So I felt helpless. I couldn't go towards my son. I was just shouting out, "Stop, that's my 13-year-old son. That's my son, stop." He's only 13. I couldn't see what was going on beyond the bushes, so, things were racing through my head at the time. Have they discharged the taser? What's happening,
Oh
I
no.
could just hear some commotion. So I was handcuffed. I had to get on my knees, hands behind my back, all that sort of thing. And
Okay.
this was going on
Yeah. Can
a while.
I just stop you there for a moment, because you
Yeah.
said that you was handcuffed.
Mhm.
Yeah, so how is it that it got to the point that they handcuffed you? Because if you're in handcuffed, I'm taking that they've arrested you.
Well, nobody said anything to me at that point. There was no, no mention of an arrest, etc. I was just handcuffed on the spot. Again, they came in a rage, all inaudible, shouting, aggressive. My son emerged from the bushes in handcuffs too. He's obviously
Oh,
only
no.
13 years old. So that's the situation there. When I was on my knees, I did ask, so what is this about? He said there's been a stabbing in the area, which is obviously what that police cordon was, like we drove past earlier on the way. And that we fitted the description of the suspects. I asked what was the suspect's description. They said, it's a black IC3 on a bike.
Guilty by black. Yeah.
IC3 in police code is a black person.
He's a black person.
Yeah. Guilty by black.
So I didn't
Yeah.
explain to them that we are living in Tottenham.
Mhm.
This could obviously be any person, around at the time. Because, Tottenham is a multicultural society. So, there's a lot of black people going past. So at that point, I was saying, I need to video this. And obviously, while I was in handcuffs, I couldn't reach my phone. My phone was on the, in my pocket. Well, actually, I think it was on the floor at the time. I was telling them that we're just on a charity bike ride. I kept on shouting out, somebody needs to video this. And then somebody came out who lives along the canal. Very nice lady, Louise Payton, helped me out very much by videoing from there what had happened. So she got her phone out and videoed the incident. I kept telling the police officers that I'm on a charity bike ride, and the whole irony of the whole thing is that the bike ride was in conjunction with the police. Yeah, I was doing a charity bike ride for an organisation called Kick Off at Free. Kick Off at Free actually do some really good work across the country. They put on football tournaments and events and all sorts of other sort of health-related events to raise money for different charities. It's run by a guy called Michael Wallace, and he's actually a black police officer, and he's on the board of the Black Police Association.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, you know, it was in affiliation to the police as well. Um, so that was a big irony there. So I explained to them, no, that's what I'm doing. I didn't have to tell them that, you know, I've got all my distances, etc. on the map, on the app, on my phone. So the guy obviously still didn't believe me, and he was like, you know, asking, oh, so where is this app? You know, so we went through that. They asked me my details, you know, what's my name, what we're doing. All this time, they've taken my son away separately,
Oh no.
a different location. So we were separated, and he was having to explain himself.
Oh
And
no.
he was in handcuffs for a while as well. He was actually read his rights to on the way from the bushes
For-
to
For riding a bike.
you know, to the
Absolute disgrace. Yeah. How is your son now, may I ask?
Much for a 13-year-old. He's never actually ever been in any kind of contact or you know, trouble with the police in his life, because we're always trying to tell him that, you know, you can go to the police, they're there to keep you safe, and you know, you can confide in them if you need to. So yeah.
Okay.
How-
So if
how
you
is
could
he?
if you take a breath there, but yeah, obviously hold your thoughts. Obviously the account that you've given is a sense a representation of both yourself and your son. But how is your son now? Because obviously that is trauma.
It's a lot of trauma. It's
Yeah,
a traumatic situation. Of course, he was very sort of shaken. In the first couple of weeks, he was having to sort of sleep in our room on the floor of the mattress. He wasn't really wanting to sort of go out very much, and then if he did hear police sirens and stuff, he was a little bit frightened of that. He's much better now. Of course, he's healed from the actual physical wounds, because he had you know, scratches and cuts and bruises on his body, and also on the side of his face. So anyone who's seen the video will see that. He's quite badly sort of scratched up, etc. Again, we just tried to get him back on his bike, so that he's not traumatized by, you know, going on bike rides, etc. And just get back into some kind of routine of his schoolwork and doing his football training and coach, you know, and fitness training, because he's quite a good footballer as well. So he's been doing a lot of football.
Okay. All right. Well, if you take a little stop there, obviously, then what I will do, or between myself and my colleague, we're gonna be paying our respect to your son, young man, even though he's at that young age of 13. You know,
13,
that
yeah.
it's
He just
commendable.
turned 13 as well in April, so he's very young.
Yeah, it's commendable what he did, because he had a choice. And rather than jumping into the canal or the river, I'm taking it was a canal.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
canal.
If he had jumped in the canal, then he would have risked drowning.
His life. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm saying that because the police, they're then going to exercise their rights on the grounds of health and safety. They're not going to go in to rescue him.
No.
You understand? So even though he had suffered scratches and facial injuries, yeah, he made the right choice. And
Could have been
also
worse.
the evidence, the video showed the evidence of the bruises and the scratches. Yeah, but had he jumped in the water, then it could have been far different. Yeah, so I'd like to commend him for that, and again, the fact that you was with him help the healing, because there's no way that he would have been able to come home and explain his situation had he been on his own to you.
Exactly.
Imagine,
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah.
And this is what a lot of parents who've been calling me and or emailing me and messaging me are very concerned about, because as I say, I do a lot of football coaching with the local you know, team, Rugby Rangers, and also I'm actually a scout for Crystal Palace as well, so I do some work with the development squads there sometimes as well. And so I'm in contact with a lot of parents across, you know, the board in this area and even in South London, etc., and across London. So regardless of sort of creed, colour, background, race, a lot of them are very concerned about the approach that's being taken, and they realise the first thing they mention is that could have been my son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everyone is concerned about this, and different approaches definitely need to sort of be put in place, because it's just so dangerous. Not every time are you going to be on a bike ride with your son. How often
No.
does that happen, that you're out with them and they go out by themselves, and you know, have the kids got the coping skills, all the tools to get themselves out of these situations is the big question.
Well,
Not, they're just kids, aren't they?
yeah, they're just
Yeah.
kids.
Like a kid.
Yeah, but again, to a certain extent, from what you've said there further, it's like it's a blessing in disguise, in that you are a reputable person within our community, as well as your son and the family overall. Yeah, that you're a community person, and the lesson that we're asking, to a certain extent, for the police to learn. I mean, it's just the same thing that's been replicated over and over and over again. You know, so it would appear that there's nothing that we can teach them that they want to learn.
Nothing.
Yeah, they don't want to learn. You know, you've also mentioned Michael Wallace, yeah, of the Police Association. Yeah, so you've now given him more ammunition, yeah, not to request off the police, but to make demands of the police.
Of course.
Yeah, so
Making demands.
yeah, it is about taking a stand now, yeah, and making demands. We're not requesting of them because we've given them all the opportunities. This time round, obviously, we're fortunate and we give God thanks. We give him all the praise that your son is with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have gone different.
Yeah.
And then we would have had to have been out on the road now, protesting in order to seek justice. Yeah. So again, when we say enough is enough, we're fed up.
Enough is enough for us.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that is the demand. Yeah. So in a sense, what we are asking, yeah, when you see Mr. Wallace, Mr. Michael Wallace, yeah, in to a certain extent, sometimes we don't even have to say anything. Yeah. What we're asking of Joe Public out there is just get the T-shirt. Yeah. On the front it says Taras. Yeah. On the back we're saying enough is enough, because that is what they seem to do behind our backs. Yeah. And whenever the opportunity arises, if you wasn't there, because remember yourself and your son were detached, they didn't expect for him to be there to have that rescue. So when you turned up now, they never really want to hear what you're saying. They said, well, let us contain you, because the profile that they're looking for, there's total two contrasts between your son and yourself. So which is it? Yeah, they clearly don't know what it is they're looking for, other than the fact that they're both black. Yeah, and that's why they put you in handcuffs, because that's the only guidance that they had, and it might have been self-imposed. Yeah.
Well, they should have put the whole of Tottenham in handcuffs then.
Well, they ain't got this.
That's exactly what, one of them even admitted live on camera that, he said to the lady who was videoing the incident, who's a white lady, and she's been very, very helpful with it. She's questioning them and putting them, on the spot herself. And she did say, look, what was the description that you were given? She asked them again. And the guy said, okay, it was a black person on a bike. Would you not agree that that is vague? He said that to her. She was like, well, you've answered the question and, pretty much shot yourself in the foot there, all in one. This is what we've been complaining about all the time. If it was the shoe was on the other foot, and there's a white dad and a white son on a bike ride, you cannot stop them without getting the eye colour of the person, the hair colour,
Yes.
what bloody fragrance he's wearing,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Finer details is what's required. But how can you stop a black dad and his child on a bike ride, or just going on the fact of their skin colour?
Skin color.
And just
Yeah.
on the skin colour basically.
Yeah, and then
And that they're on a bike.
yeah, and then to ram it up to the extent that they can now draw arms to taser. How did they escalate to that level?
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, they came in at the highest level of aggression, and then I had to de-escalate them down myself through
Oh.
talk, rather than them coming at it with an approach that you would expect. Excuse me, sir. There's been an incident in the area. Do you mind, if we do a stop and search? And sometimes that's fine because police do have a job and they've got to keep people safe, etc. But there's a way that you deal with people and a level of approach that you need to take in order to keep everybody safe and to gain the respect and trust of people. And this is what people are losing trust in the police because of the unconscious, biasness situation.
Racial bias, yeah.
Painting everyone with the same brush. Everyone is a criminal. You're black, therefore you must be a criminal. You must be aggressive. So you need to be handcuffed. You need to be restrained without me even asking or speaking to you. You know, and you can't go around it because most black people are not criminals. People have good jobs. People do things in the community. People are trying to raise their kids in the right way. All these things, but some people are not really, buying into that within the system. And this is what needs to change. I mean, I've spoken to Michael Wallace at length about this as well. He's the person on the Black Police Association, and they're facing similar issues themselves as black police officers. That some of them are not being able to, report things up, etc. They're feeling a bit isolated in there. And this is why he actually formed the Kick Off At Free organisation, so that they can actually get youth on board, expose them to the police in safe areas and zones through sport and things like that, get their voices heard and show the other side of the police that there are people in our community doing good things that have got talent. But again, they're not even getting backing, I think, from the actual Met.
They're not interested, yeah.
A lot of it is through sort of community support and other sort of charities and stuff and favours from people within the community.
Yeah.
So I just like to make that point.
Yeah, well again, it would appear that we have an institution where they're very selective in who they bring into their ranks, and also the number that they bring into their ranks. Because as long as you always have the privileged few, those few can never be effective in order to cover the bases. Because it's, as an example, we clearly need a police sergeant or to whatever commission. We need them at the highest level and in numbers. Yeah, we need for them to be uncomfortable. Yeah, so rather than for us being uncomfortable amongst them, they need to be uncomfortable with us being amongst in their ranks. Yeah, because that is the only way it's going to change. We can be forever training, but as long as they know the rank and file remains the same, nothing will change. Yeah, and that's what I know, having been in the institution. Just being in the institution, they view you as a suspect. Worse, if you let them know that you're a whistleblower anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, you're there to expose them. Yeah, you don't have to have the skill set. You just need to have the mindset. So you have the mindset. You just tell them why you're there. Yeah, because once you've done that, you're going to give yourself some breathing space. Yeah, whether you're there or not.
I just want to add one thing. I must commend you on your cool and calm delivery and the way you dealt with it, because one thing I know, and one thing, back me up on this, I think if it was his mother there, it would be a totally different story.
Yes.
Thank
I imagine something else would have happened to you.
Thank
you
you.
very much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's not always easy to stay calm in these situations, etc. And
No.
keep a cool head. But I mean, one of the other things that I've been doing is a lot of sort of work with sort of youth organisations such as Release and Y-Stop. They've got a Y-Stop project which actually teaches and educates young people about their rights when they are stopped and searched. Tells them, that they need to stay calm. First and foremost, that they need to, always get a receipt if they're stopped and searched. Take the police officer's ID number, and they've got an app as well. So if you get into trouble, you can press a button and start videoing the situation. And if you shake your phone, it will just upload it, the video footage to their site, and they can put you in contact with people that can help you. So that's a really good resource and tool for some of the kids out there. It's called Y-Stop.
It's called Y-Stop.
Got, like, supportive videos and things like that on their site.
Fantastic.
That could be something that a lot of youth need to really have a look at. There's a few other resources out there that could help as well. I've been doing some work with Community Youth London as well, which is run by an organisation called Defenders Entertainment, and they've got loads of different initiatives and projects on at the moment. One of them is a Safe Zones project, which is being rolled out in Croydon first, I think, and that's in conjunction with the YMCA. I think they've been talking to the Mayor's office as well, so on the MOPAC sort of initiative.
Okay.
So Mayor's office for prevention of crime, etc. We're making a nice crime documentary as well with an organisation that I work for called Need More Football, which covers like loads of football educational stuff and sort of documentaries around social issues.
Okay.
And in saying that, it was no disrespect to the mother, but I know a mother has a different kind of temperament when one of her babies is actually troubled with. So that's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yes, my brother. I mean, obviously.
The lion protecting the pride.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a totally different take. But again, you are fortunate, and the police are unfortunate in this situation that you've got a network which forms an armor around yourself. Clearly, it didn't prevent them penetrating insofar as the police are concerned as to how they had apprehended both yourself and your son at the beginning of it. But I'm sure it's going to be a nightmare, for the police and their ranking officers that as to how they had dealt with, and I'm sure they're shaking in their boots, but they're not going to be able to clown around their own ranks and file in order to save themselves. I think in this case,
Not this time.
yeah, in this case they will have to give him up in order to obviously prolong their bad practices.
Not this time.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, like we say, enough is enough for us.
Yeah.
It's gone one step too far.
It's gone too far.
It can't happen to any more kids out there, to be honest. It's just, there's no words to even describe, how parents should be feeling if this happens again to our kids, especially after what's going on. But we said this time and time again over decades and decades, and it's still the same story.
Yeah, it's still
it's about solution from within, and we've also got to push from without, from outside of the,
Totally agree.
as well.
Yeah. The time for talking has stopped. The time for begging has stopped. The time to try and be integrated has stopped. We now need to stand.
Yeah, and again, that include the churches who are politically, to a certain extent, correct. Yeah, because they've always been my personal objectives. Even though I've spent my life working with young people, You know, both here, even here with Clasper there on the farm, yeah, and been fighting and been an advocate against anti-racism or all kinds of racism. Joined their institution, being a counselor, so being in there and amongst them, yeah. But what I've found a solution through real active structured supported solutions. I found that my main challenge then was dealing with the church.
Okay.
You understand? And it was really strange that the opposition came from somebody. I hope the person will forgive me, but I'm saying it anyway. He's a pastor.
Go, Clive.
Wow.
You see what I'm
Say
saying?
it, Clive.
Supporting and helping and pushing.
Yeah. So for that reason, I mean, I went in the book because I'm a baptized
Christian.
soul. There's a baptized soul. Yeah. So I go in the Bible and I reach and I came out with WRATH. Yeah, which is the wrath of God. Yeah, and I stood on that. Yeah, with Ross. Yeah, I'm saying I'm not moving, I'm not bowing, because this is what I'm fed up of hearing these things coming to me over and over and over again. Yeah, so I said I'm gonna take a stand, but I said, well, the best way to do it is to do it with a double-edged sword, but then it still left me with the principal thing of there being two Ross or two Rosses. You see what I'm saying? So that's where I take a stand. I apologize for those who are out there that may think. Yeah.
Don't apologize, Clive. Stand.
I'm being politically correct.
Don't. Time for being politically correct is over. Stand.
I'm already standing, but you have to be mindful of those who are of that mindset. Yeah. We have taken to a certain extent religion. Yeah. Now, I'm not dismissing the words because you have to be able to read between the line.
You can't dismiss the word.
Yeah?
The word is the word.
The word is the word. But it's in spirit as well as in truth. Yeah? Now, some of those words have been done in a way that they hide the truth. Yeah? And those who are in the know, it's for them to sort out them things. So in our church, no need for sorting a business out. I will call it out because there is a moral high ground that society has lost. And the youngsters are losing it because the very people that they're supposed to run to, they're now having to be running away from. You know, and it really pains me to know that, you know, your son is running in the thicket, in the bushes, as a choice, as opposed to jumping into the canal.
There was no choice.
Nowhere to turn. You know, it's where they say a rock or a hard place. I don't even, what's the term, and what's that? Is it rock or a hard place?
You've been rock in a hard place, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and he's 13. You know? Man, he's just on the crest of manhood. You know? It was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible. I'm sorry to hear that that's happened to him, but I'm pleased to see the sensible stand that you are taking, and don't give up. We are behind you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we stand with you. I'm sure those who are listening out there, we're gonna stand with you. We are demanding the church stand with you. Yeah, and the mindset that they have, where they're passive, that they will use the authority, yeah, that moral high ground, that compass that's supposed to be within all of us, yeah, in order to challenge once and for all, yeah. And again, I am appealing to those out there, if you don't want to talk, just wear the t-shirt, yeah. We're now backing up that t-shirt with the sound of a drum playing in unity. Yeah,
But hold on, Clive. Where can people get the t-shirts? For?
No, oh, you won't come interrupt. Now, I supposed to be asking you that question. Listen. I didn't want to just put these t-shirts on anybody's back. they have to understand that when they wear this T-shirt, it's not something that you go and you do mischievous things,
Yeah.
and then it comes back on us.
All right, let me tell you. Yeah, anybody,
You're wearing the t-shirt.
anybody that wants a T-shirt, email in your size, small, medium, or large, to concept2ras@gmail.com. Email in. We will send you details of the price. We will send you details of the packing, and we'll get the T-shirts to you.
So what about vetting them?
Clive, you want the T-shirts out?
No, listen.
If you're worthy of the t-shirt,
Huh?
you have to get vetted to see if you're worthy of the t-shirt.
That's
Enough is enough.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want just anybody wearing my T-shirt or our T-shirt. Our T-shirt need to represent. So when the youth wear the T-shirt, they take pride in wearing the T-shirt.
All right.
You understand? So that has been that has been the problem, or one of the challenges I'm facing. Yeah. When I was at Glastonbury, I could have sold so many of these T-shirts, and for whatever reason, I didn't have the gadget to enable me to take the credit card. I'd left it at home.
Oh, wow.
You understand? So even though they were trying to rip the T-shirts off my back, I'm saying, you know something, at least it's part of that marketing ploy. I can see that the demand is there.
Yes.
Yeah? But the listeners out there, I want for you to wear these T-shirts with pride. So one of the
And
things, obviously,
respect.
we're doing something on Saturday. Whenever I attend, whether it's a stand-up for racism, at least it gives me an idea as to where you stand.
So where are you on Saturday, Clive? Announce it again, please.
Well, we're in Enfield. We're doing what is it? A young man had died, Julio, Concept to Ras event, with stand up to racism, and also with Black Lifeline, the Black Life Matters, the Windrush generation. Anyway, it's in Edmonton. I mean, we've got an ad, leaflet, everything is out there. With
Jubilee Park, 12 o'clock. Yeah?
Jubilee Park, 12 o'clock.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. I will sell you some T-shirts. Yeah. The money is important, but it's more important to get the message across.
And the kudos.
Yeah, and another thing I've come to.
Okay,
come
hold
to,
on. Don't you think this young man who was stopped by the police deserves a T-shirt, Clive?
Yeah, certainly. That goes without question.
He's done his vetting. He's done his time. Yes.
Yeah,
He's
but
been vetted.
again,
he's proved himself worthy. Give him a T-shirt.
yeah, that goes without saying. But you know, listening also, I would love what's his name, Michael Wallace, that police associated officer, for him to wear the T-shirt.
Send in one.
You understand? Because you see, when he wears the T-shirt, yeah, the thinking of this person who's sitting in front of him, looking at that T-shirt with it saying enough on the back, he could just sit there and don't say nothing.
Send him one. Give Daddy and the young lad a
You
T-shirt and
see what I'm saying?
send one to Michael Wallace.
This is the
Clive,
weapon
do it.
I want to put in the hands of us individually out there. Those
Do
of
it.
us who are part of their organizations, of their structures. You understand? Or we want to be the glue, or we want to be the cement in the sand. You see what I'm saying? So that in part is a lesson that's been learned from the journey, yeah, that I've been through. Yeah, and again, I was hoping that Graham Joy Gardner's son was gonna be with me, because you know that's where
He'll come. He'll
yeah,
come.
that's where
He'll
we're
come.
at the moment. I am so fed up. You know, my brother, I'm still so encouraged, and I'm saying that you're encouraged because you've got a network of support behind you. You understand? At the time when I got arrested, beaten up by the police, yeah, I was an elected member of the council.
Wow.
And
All right.
there weren't many of me. So I would have thought if they really cared to
not do anything wrong and untowards. They would like to know who that one person is. They say, you see that one over there, sir? Leave him alone
Right.
because it's going to cause us problem.
Now, listen, even your council cloak couldn't protect you. So
Well, that's,
you know,
that's the thing I'm saying.
you know, that's it. We are a target.
Yeah, and they're now picking on the youngers.
Yeah, exactly. So how did your situation unfold?
Oh, I got deselected by the Labour group. So that meant then I wasn't elected or re-elected. It took 10 years to clear my name, but I was fortunate to have Michael Mansfield Chambers represent me. So that's how I was able to wrestle myself out. I think there's a case. What would you call it? N. There's
Judicial review.
no. There's a case there on record because my case was. What do they say? It's like an anomaly. It's one of those. My case changed something in history. I was one of the first person arrested on this new terrorism law that they brought in. You understand? That's just prior to the war. You know what I'm saying? So they have all kinds of designs for us. You understand? And if you don't have the support or the backing to wrestle yourself out, then you end up being mentally disturbed.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because this is one of the things that could have dealt with or be one of the consequences for your son because he's been traumatized. Yeah? Had you not been there with him, and I'm saying him being able to explain or for you to say you understand, but, yeah, he wouldn't be able to do that.
He would not.
Yeah, and then we'll make it even worse now. The police are going to come and tell you some lies that, yeah, you're going to put all these doubts in your mind against, which effectively is setting you against your own son.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the fact that you was there with him, that means the two of you are of one accord. Yeah, had you been separate and he's now going to give you the account. Listen, I remember in the old days with our parents. Listen, our parents probably beat we on top of where the police are going to tell them.
Yes, yeah. Of course.
You see what I'm saying? Because our parents didn't believe we. Let's say we're mischievous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that's
heard the authority and they take authority for what it should be.
What it
Face
should be.
value.
you see what I'm saying? So we've come somewhere down the road where our parents listen to us a little bit more. Yeah? But back in the days, the police was always right. They're like the church.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm just so thankful that you was there with him. And again, I understand as to where you're coming from because I was involved with sports in the way of football. I can say thanks not just to Classford but to others that my son had played football with or whose team that he had played football in. And on the touchline you see as to how they discriminate against us institutionally to hold us back. Yeah, because that's the other thing. He's got these skills. His means of expressing himself. But you find that's another institution that's going to hold him back. So he can't be himself. Yeah. So he has to listen to what the coach may well have to say and what the coach may do. So he can't be himself. You know what I'm saying? So there's all kind of challenges that we're up against, my brother. You know, but I say you listen. Just take a stand and fight the good fight because not many of us find ourselves in the position that you're in to fight.
So what exactly is the police process at the moment? Are they investigating it? And secondly, what is it that you need from us?
Yeah, well, I've logged the official complaint. So basically, I had to go through the Met Police, website and the police complaints procedure. So, that involves them sort of investigating along a number of points that you make,
Within themselves.
and then
Yeah.
investigate the officers concerned. this can take up to, I don't know, it can take a few months, and they say that they've got backlogs in cases because of coronavirus, of course. So that's one thing, and then the second thing will be a compensation claim, which I've had to log separately as well.
Right.
So
Have you got
a now?
Have you got legal representation?
Take a little while, but you know, it's riding it out, and then of course fighting it along the way.
Have you got legal representation?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've done some work alongside a couple of organisations now. You know, a barrister's office, 25 Bedford Road, and
Right. Okay.
they've recommended a few lawyers.
Mhm.
I've also got sort of legal people in the family. My brother's partner is she's a lawyer, and yeah. So there's lots of things. You know,
Okay, well, you're armored. Yeah, you're armored to deal
You're
with
covered.
the situation.
Yeah, and not
Yeah.
many people are.
Yeah, well,
No.
again, that is a point I'm making, you know. So with that, let them drag their heels, because in the length of time that they drag their heel, you make sure that you drag out what the compensation is, because each time, or for every month, for every week, there is trauma. Yeah, because they've got a history of dragging things out to frustrate us.
Yes.
Yeah, but it
People
has.
give up, don't they?
Yeah, they listen. They're expert. They know how to slow. I don't know. There was this water term where they used to listen. Man, I'm telling you, this is so infuriating, you know,
Yeah.
and hard to take in. You know, for somebody I've just entered in their teenage years. You know, imagine that.
I know it's not
You-
how
you-
you want to start, especially if you've done absolutely nothing. I mean, some
Mm.
people they go, you know, they're involved in certain things, and even then it's not justified. But when you're not
Mhm.
anywhere near any of that kind of stuff, it's
Mhm.
even more infuriating.
Yeah, it's mad, and I'm sure you're so confident in your son. You know, now that he's entering into his teenage, he's 13. So I know, like for myself, you're watching this transition now. 13, 14 now. He's like, you're gonna let it. You have to give him that more reign. Yeah. So you're gonna be allowing him to do things on his own now.
Of course.
He's not gonna wanna be. Oh man.
Exactly, and it can stifle a lot of people.
Oh.
You know, they don't really know what the long-term psychological effects can be on these kids. So that's why, you know, it does take, you know, parents, and if there are two parents in the family, both parents to keep on, you know, pushing the good things and making sure that, you know, that they are confident in
Yeah.
every aspect of,
Oh.
you know, their lives. So, you know,
Oh.
Well,
whether
both,
it's
you know,
education,
all credit,
whether
all
they go
credit to
church,
you.
etc.
Mhm.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
listen, my brother, I hope that our conversation has given you more strength, you know, in us being able to openly share it, you know, with the
Yeah.
community to out there. You know what I'm saying? So listen, just endure. Yeah, let them take them time. Yeah, because the time that they take is forever trauma. Yeah, because we don't know the long term. Yeah,
Yes.
and we don't even care to know the long term.
Yeah.
You understand? We're going through with the belief and to give that confidence in this young man. So maybe he's the one that's going to rise above everything and come out to be the lawyer and say, yeah, I remember what you did to me.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
inspired
yeah,
people.
I remember. No matter things say I forgotten. You may well have given me the purpose to which I thought I never had.
He will never forget this.
You see, and
Yeah.
that has been for me personally from the day they arrested me.
And how old were you?
My age now not to do with it. At the time,
What was the story behind your arrest, by the way?
oh, it's the same. There was a crime scene. There was a crime scene, but what had happened is, at the time, I was putting on events for the youngsters. I had these events going called Warblow, yeah? And for the young people to come to my events, they had us to do their homework and their house chores.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, so and that was the thing. As parents, as you said, brilliant. Yeah. So the kids, they would obviously compromise, because they want to come to the events. So they'll do whatever in order to come to the events. So I'll be out walking in the green and I say, "Mommy, that's Clive, because they want to come to the events." Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But then what happened is my Labour colleagues, I mean, I'm back with Labour now, yeah? But my Labour colleagues, they tell me they don't want another Bernie Grant in Enfield.
Okay. Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Because what they were looking at is the fact that if these youngsters who are not yet 18, yeah, when they reach 18, if I'm still in there, then it means then I can become an MP.
Yes.
You see, I wasn't looking that far ahead. Because I rather be at the grassroots, because as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing honourable about being an MP.
Right, okay. All right, keep going. So how come you got arrested, Clive?
I got arrested because, like I say, a crime scene had been created. I had been putting on events. I mean, I went to Tottenham to see the Flying Squad, which is Egan, because Egan was printing my tickets, my flyers. I went and I was on my way. I went down there, and then when I came back to Edmonton Green, it had been cordoned off. So I was walking through the green towards Tesco's, and you could see the cordon. So there was a couple police officers coming from the Tesco's, and I made the comment, "Where should I walk?" They said, "Just stay outside the cordon." So I went towards Tesco's, making sure I stayed outside the cordon, went underneath the rail. When I went underneath the rail, a police officer came from behind the pillar and said, "I can't go through." I said, "Why not? Where you're standing isn't cordon. Where I'm standing isn't cordon. If you look, you can see clearly where the cordon goes." Yeah? And then from out of that conversation, he goes to me, "If you want to stand there and play with yourself, you're entitled to stay there."
Wow.
And I said, where this come from?
Where'd that come from?
In my mind, where this come from? So I turned to him and said, "You might play with yourself, but I certainly don't." And he went red. Yeah, he went red. So when he went red, I said, "Yeah, you heard." But then, when I said that second part to him, I know, so I can't go in that direction anymore. You understand? So I then turned to phone my daughter, who was in part helping to organize these Warblow events. And you see, when I turned and I select the phone, because back in the days, not many of us had the mobile phone. So I turned, yeah, I select the phone now, and after I select the phone, and I press the green button and I step, just as I step, the police pounced from behind. Yeah?
Wow.
And when he pounced behind, he never managed to grab me around the shoulder to contain my arms. You understand? So it's like I kind of temporarily get away, but because I went underneath this railing, I couldn't go back underneath the railing. So my upper half of the body went over the railing. And then they grabbed my arms now from underneath the railing. So the railing is now in between. Listen, man, I scream like a baby. Yeah? But fortunate for me, the phone, when it dropped, it didn't lock off. So my daughter, who had been phoning, she heard all that had happened. And then because I was a local councillor, when she couldn't get through to me, she phoned me on my council line at home.
Right.
Yeah, you understand? And then I realized, because when I then set about through the solicitors, my solicitors was Dayton and Godella, they were then able to get the records of the phone. You understand? To prove that I could not have been on the phone and assaulting the police officer at the same time. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'd basically ended up saving me. Plus, there was people, because I was an upright citizen within my community. People.
But you're still an upright citizen, right?
Well, to a certain extent, because a lot of people. Yeah, but there was people who were so appalled as to what the police was doing. Maybe they didn't like my screaming. Yeah, but they came and they volunteered. Yeah, to be witnesses against these police officers. And then because I had been working with the police, because when I put on these Warblow events, the police was doing the security.
Okay.
You understand?
I use my position as a councillor to get the police to do the security. That means they're on the door, and I allow them to come into the venue. Yeah, that gave the parents of the children the confidence to say that where they're sending their kids is a safe environment.
Right. But the thing is, you know, Clive, if it can happen to you all these years ago, as an upstanding citizen, a councillor, you know, motor that was using the police for security, and it's still happening to 13-year-old boy that was just riding his bicycle on a charity event with his father. Nothing has changed, has it? Really?
No, nothing has changed. And that's a point, and that again is the reason why I get to the point where I'm saying, Taras, after all this time,
Enough is enough.
after the pains you have subjected me through, now you're doing the same, yeah, with these youngers who are now, you know, potentially adults. But you see, once you get stigmatized, put in a pigeonhole, you've now got a record from being a teenager. When you become an adult, what chance do you stand? You don't stand no chance. So we're that with ourselves who have endured and now have the qualification, have the skills, have the mindset to be forcing our way through the institutions. Our youngers, they're being denied it. They've been broken from a younger age. So they end up with the belief that, listen, even to go in the police isn't an appealing place to be. It's not appealing, yeah? But what I have done, I have made personal sacrifice myself. I've been in all the parties with the exception of the Conservative, yeah? What my community dogged me for, and what they find difficult to, what do you say, excuse me from or forgive me for, is I actually met with Nigel Farage, had the discussion with him, and I said, you know something, I think I can work with you on this one, you know? And that was to get out of Europe, and we still ain't out of it yet. A lot of people still don't agree, but the one thing that they will agree is that there's been an hostile environment against us who are from the Caribbean, who are of this Windrush generation. So now I can hold my head up and talk about it without any thinking about compensation or, you know.
Right, but okay. Aside from politics, Clive, you know, it doesn't matter whether you're Conservative, whether you're Lib Dem, whether you're UKIP, whether you're Labour, Black Labour, whatever, Green Party. It matters not if you have a black skin.
No, it
because
matters not.
you're going to get arrested, you're going to get targeted, you're going to get profiled. So it doesn't matter what you do in terms of politics. This has to be addressed first.
Yeah.
And this is what I believe are
I would say that is hard talk.
MPs. Yeah.
I would say that is hard talk diplomacy. That's what that is what we need. Yeah.
Right,
and
but our MPs have let us down. You don't see David Lammy's in a straight jacket at the moment as Justice Secretary.
Yeah, and again, the reason what I'm going to say here is the reason why our MPs they let us down is because we're not in there in sufficient numbers, and the powers that be do not want us in there in the numbers that we can cover all our bases.
Listen, apply to be a magistrate. Apply, and keep applying until you get your seat. Let's change the flavour of the bench.
Yeah, but
I have been trying since the 80s, and now we can do it. We have enough numbers. The MPs that are there have let us down. No, we don't have the numbers in Parliament at the moment. Diane Abbott, Dawn Butler, David Lammy, they should have been doing a lot more to bring young people on. They're doing something, but not enough, in my view. And that's my view.
Yeah. Well, I'm seeing it at a local level because obviously I continue to engage locally in the politics. And I can say, and it's something I probably will share at next week's rally, yeah, that it's as though that where I am in Enfield, it's like we've been run by the mafia. It's like a family business. Yeah, that's how low everything has gotten to. Yeah, it's like it is like a family business, and I'm wondering to myself,
from when I was taken out of the politics, where is our say, strong men within our community? Why is it that they've not stepped up? The people that I'm seeing into politics, they're there to feather their nests. And I'm talking black and white representatives. It's really an embarrassment, to see that we, who are standing on the shoulders of our ancestors, have lost the fight.
We haven't lost it. We're just taking a sabbatical, but we're coming back strong, Clive.
What that?
I said we've taken a sabbatical for a little while, but we're coming back strong.
Yeah, well, we're coming back strong because we've got fathers like Andrew who are also prepared to take a stand because their situation have been compromised and their son were almost sacrificed.
There you go. I mean, it's up to us to get the younger generations interested in these topics and getting more sort of active as well.
Yeah.
These things.
Totally agree.
Also down to sort of youth culture as well, where everything's just sort of internet and social media based, where the things that were important to older generations have sort of been lost on younger generations. It's all about materialism and how many things you can get on social media, etc. Instead.
Yeah. TikTok and Instagram and all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't profit you in the long run.
Yeah, and also, obviously, it's a tool to be used, but it means that you can't plan any strategy without them knowing in advance because it's already in the public domain. But you can, Clive. You can. Yeah, well,
really
we need to find means of ways of doing. That's all I can say. I mean, there's never a case that you can't. But there is a concern.
Exactly. Can't is not in my vocabulary. There is always a way.
Okay, Andrew, right. That voice on the other side is N, yeah.
Okay,
yeah. It's Norm, yeah. It does represent, yeah. But Norm represents hard talk, diplomacy, yeah.
That's brilliant. That's what we need.
Yeah. So she keeps this old thing in check.
Very much so.
So, yeah. So where I might be slacky-tided to a certain extent,
flaky,
or flaky, she keeps me in check, and I know I need to be because oftentimes what happens is people take my kindness for weakness. You understand? But
that's always a mistake sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, but.
Happens to a lot of us,
But the thing is, I can
people, for a better word, try and take liberties.
Yeah.
I can rough him up because he's my cousin.
Yeah. People will try to take liberties with me. You understand? And then when they get to a point that when me say enough is enough, I say, watch it now, go up no more. Them get vexed. Yeah. Them get vexed, but their problem is they've shown their true colors and their intent.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So when they reach the farther now, I say, well, watch it now, that now work no more. Yeah. They don't know what to do. You understand? But yeah, as you've heard, I've journeyed. I've been at it for a very, very long time. So as much as a lot of my colleagues are out there, even listening, they will criticize me. I just tell them what I'm no hurry come up, So you might have done your research and think you know. But yeah, I have the experience. Yeah, and that again is the reason politicians don't want people who have experience and knowing their ins and their outs. You understand? So that's why they like to just give you one term, yeah, and they let you go and bring in somebody new. Yeah.
No. Let's correct that because politicians are very much guided and they have to toe the party line. As soon as they start to step out and put their big toe in the water outside the party line, then they're almost vanished. And as a former councillor, as a parliamentary candidate as well, I am not one that you can actually tell what to say. You can't put words in my mouth and tell me to say this, say that, say the other thing.
Yeah, well,
And that is one of the reasons why I came out of politics, because I need to be independent. I need to be free. And I need to say exactly what needs to be said and stand on my words and direct results.
Yeah,
And this
but-
is where I am.
yeah, but at least you say you're out of politics. I'm talking about those who want to stay in the politics. As to how they
because
manipulate.
they're handcuffed.
Yeah,
They're verbally handcuffed.
yeah. Well, that's how they operate. You
Yeah,
know.
which
But
is
again,
which
with-
is not where we need to be. We need to be on the outside and sort of pushing people in
Yeah, well, again, I agree totally to that now. Yeah, it's
and
for
getting
us
them to be accountable.
Yeah, it's now about us empowering the young people in all the institutions. Yeah, and for we didn't even get the name of your son, but it's not really important. Yeah, at this point, but it's imperative that we let him know. Yeah, burden of responsibility is on his shoulder to a certain extent, that as he mature and he looks back on his journey, he has been prepared. Yeah, he is being prepared. So it means now he should be able to go through the institutions, acquire all the knowledge and the skill in order to deliver, not to take it and to feel sorry for himself or to lose that courage.
It's an experience, yeah.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
to be stifled. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that again is what we're putting over to yourself as parents, in saluting you, that you recognize, yeah, where we are at this juncture, yeah,
Yeah.
in the future of not just you go, but the family in general. He now should
Yeah.
be the model, yeah, that others can then emulate somewhere down
Oh,
the road.
totally.
I
Totally.
think,
Absolutely commend you.
That's what it's about, isn't it? Learning from
Yeah.
the experiences and
Yeah.
making sure that we sort of empower other young people and old
Mhm.
people to stand up and call out these things when they're wrong. I mean, even the person who's been really instrumental in this sort of story being exposed to the lady Louise Payton, who actually videoed the incident, and then she sat down and she's told lots of the media networks, some of the mainstream ones, that sometimes we kind of like just let these things pass and it's never on on your doorstep, but when it actually lands on your doorstep right in front of your very eyes, and it makes you think, oh, this is actually real.
Yeah,
This is happening.
yeah,
This is what they are actually like.
yeah,
Not just a minority of people that happens. This happens to everyone all the time.
all the
And
time.
that gets the conversation going and makes people of other, sort of what's the word? So Caucasian people and people that are not from sort of BAME backgrounds kind of sit
Realize.
up
And take
understand
notice.
a bit more, have a little bit more empathy.
That's right.
as to
Yeah.
what's going through and what needs to change.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So all credit to her as well.
Yeah, so my
Um,
brother,
yeah.
I only really had intended to give you half an hour or an hour, but we're fast now running out of time, so we've got to wind down and let people know as to what's happening with us for this weekend. Yeah, so as Enad says, certainly we'd be honored for you to wear our t-shirts
And
for
keep
what
us
it-
informed.
yeah, and for what it represents, and again to keep us informed, so we'll be able to let others know and to network and also to link up with those that you are already in the know, so that by the time the matter come to where it needs to get to, and I know what's going to happen. They're going to try and settle everything outside because
Maybe this is what normally happens, isn't it? But I mean, I've been contacted by the superintendent on the case a couple of times, and obviously they say they can't discuss the situation. But it's been referred to the independent body. By the way, the police have had to refer themselves to the independent body to investigate
yeah.
the situation. So let's see how that unfolds.
Yeah,
But,
well, they'd
one
like
of the
to.
main things here is that that people are sort of empowered and people, the youth know their rights and we get some change.
Yeah.
Just one question. My last question to you: are these officers that threatened to taser your 13-year-old son still employed? Have they not been?
Yeah. Are they
Have
suspended?
they not have? Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're actually being investigated, and apparently they're being sort of served. You know, they will start to get investigated from this week. So,
Right.
as far as I know, they're still on duty, but this could change. Again,
They should have been
you know,
suspended. Yeah, I
to
think.
deal with it, but everything's on camera,
Mm-hmm.
and you know the camera doesn't lie in this case, does it?
No. There's more than 1,000 words there, and obviously
Yeah.
they can't deny it. That's the
Yeah, they should have been
unfortunate thing.
suspended with pending its full investigation, shouldn't they?
Yeah, well, that's normally what happens to us. You know, we would have been suspended and following the investigation. But yeah, they think they're above the law, and how dare you? Yeah, yeah, and because of that same attitude, you know, they'll say, well, you know something, let's just pay him off and getting out of the way because we don't want the embarrassment. Yeah, and just be more careful next time when you go setting about doing your thing.
That's normally
Oh,
the way it works.
No, that is the way it work. That is the way. That's their ignorance. Yeah. So we're not gonna let them off. We need ourselves as blacks and our European counterparts. We need you all to liberate your minds and realize that this world, yeah, is designed for us all, yeah, to live. But in order for that to happen, yeah, we do need to live it in harmony. Yeah, because where there's no justice, there's no peace. And, you know,
Justice, no peace.
yeah, none of us is going to sit idly by and watch you beat up our children. Yeah, they're our future.
If it was
That
the other way around, it would, you know, people wouldn't be sitting idly by. So yeah,
no way, you know. But yeah, my brother,
brilliant. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
listen, thank you, you know, for giving us your time, you know, for opening up to the community, and may you be strengthened, your family be strengthened, because the road and the battle ahead, yeah, it's easier, yeah, but you still have to make decisions,
Yes.
yeah. So we leave that in your charge, yeah, because it is your family and you have to balance it, yeah. But we do hope that you take a stand, yeah, to do that, continue the ancestral fight for all of us and
I will
humanity.
keep you posted, and of course, it's X amount of gratitude for you know, showing your support and offering the support, which I'm sure I'll be taking up going forward.
Yeah, well, as I've said, the sacrifice is like with yourself and your family. Who feels it knows it. So I've been down the road that already. Yeah. So we're here. Yeah. The station is here, and we look forward. Yeah. And long may the journey continue. Yeah. So more strength to you, my brother, and to your family. Okay.
Bless up.
Okay.
And
Blessed
last thing
love
I'd
and
like
be
to say
strong.
is enough is enough.
To us. Okay.
All right then. Take care.
Okay. Yes.
Checking out then.
Yeah. Blessed love.
See ya.
Okay. My respect, my brother.
All right then.
Okay. Yes. Bye. Blessed love. Okay. Yes, family. Yeah, we've more or less down to the last 5-10 minutes, but time affords us a little bit more. So what I've got to run through to yourself relates to this weekend more so. I'm mindful there's a lot of activities which are out there. Again, we can't divorce ourselves from Black Lives Matter. We know as to where the source or what it really represents, but at the same time, the same way we are used in order to progress at times, we have to use certain platform in order to raise our own consciousness. So I'm asking obviously that you do understand as to my present situation, my take on the situation, I no doubt I hold my hands up. I went to Hyde Park on both days, myself, Omawali, with the drums, in taking a stand. I ain't taking no kneel. I'm standing. Yeah, who feels it knows it. I stand, or I only kneel to what I would say like my creator, because I know there is a God. Yeah, but it's evident that, yeah, we are at a time now where we need to know is which God we are serve. Yeah, whether you're the head or you're the tail. Yeah, so this is a time when you really need to know thyself. Yeah, know that your God lies within. Yeah, and that strength also lies within. And that we need to stand now shoulder to shoulder. We've been kneeling. They've had us subdued for too many years. Yeah, too long now. Yeah, so on Saturday, I'm calling you all out. Yeah, I'm calling you out to take a stand with us. Now, this young man whose birthday is on the 15th of July, he was killed in this park last year, which so happened to have been the 14th, that's 1/4 of September. I was celebrating my birthday with my brother Dougie. I was saying all things. Yeah, I don't normally invite my community to my house, but what I was seeing ahead demanded or required for me was to do so. So I invited them so that you know where to find me. So I don't even have to tell you where to find me. But this Saturday I'm asking you to come to Jubilee Park. And in Jubilee Park we've got representation from those who had suffered in that Windrush hostility. Namely, I've got Oswaldo Romeo. I'm spelling so long because this word is a mouthful. I was saying to my brethren, it's so like it's like the romance runs inside the family, you know. But yeah, my brethren Romeo, we so happen to have gone to the same school, which was Archway, back in the days when I came to this cold country, you know. So it's really strange as to how we reconnect. And there's Anthony Bryant, yeah, and there's a Glenda Caesar, I believe also. She's from, I think she said from Hackney. I think that's what Romeo had said to myself. Also from within our community, we've got the Johnson's family. Desi is still in Jamaica. I don't think, having been absent for so long, or been denied access for so long. I mean, he was here last year, I think, or the year before. I don't think he's lost that passion for being here. I think really what motivated him to come is probably to see the Tottenham Hotspur new stadium, you know, because what I remember of Desi and Trevor from way back in the days was they were staunch Tottenham supporters, you know, we say hooligans, you know what I'm saying. But they were part of the joy of growing up. I think living on Chichester Road, I think it was, no, Winchester Road then. We were just a few doors apart. So my reasons for joining UKIP were evident. You know, I grew up. Who feels it knows it. You know, so we're going through a time which is somewhat unprecedented, but we are where we are. You know, so that deals with the Windrush. Now, in regards to death in custody, yeah, because Joy Gardner, as far as I am concerned, she suffered a worse death than George Floyd. Yeah, and my reason for saying that is that she wasn't even able to utter the words, "I can't breathe." Yeah, she was gagged. And after she was gagged, and I'm saying that because she's already in handcuffed. She's been cuffed. You know, and she's been, I'll say restrained, because I wasn't there, and I can't swear as to the whole accuracy of what Mum had said, because there are some things you would try to put back to your mind, you know, but the pain, every time you see a death, it just brings it to the fore. Yeah, but anyway, Mum will be there, Graham will be there, Lisa will be there, I think David might be there. Well, I think David is going to be there, and yeah, whoever else is within the family.
But we've also got deaths within our community by stabbing, murders, things like that. So a number of the family, our community is not immune to these things.
Yeah. So we're gonna have people speaking on all of these subjects, these topics, because who feels it knows it. And I'm not asking people to restrain themselves. Yeah. We're putting demands on my council. So one of the things that we would like to see a permanent bench in the vicinity of the stadium where we're gonna be at, because that's where Julio fell. Yeah. He died in the park. So he's given us this space. It's like now our holy ground. Haringey has got the farm. Enfield hasn't got anything, but we're going to claim it. We're going to put demands on the council. Yeah, we not ask them for anything. We just tell them what is needed in order to enable our youngers to have that belief that there is justice and there is equal rights that needs to be met for all. Yeah, so we've got the Joy Gardner Family Campaign. We've got Stand Up for Racism. Yeah, we've got representation also from Black Lives Matter. Yeah, publicly, obviously, I've said to Gary, who I'd met down in Haringey. Yeah, I think we were also, for whatever reason, I think we crossed paths at Hyde Park as well. So I think our a relationship ought to have been established some time back, but nonetheless we are where we are at now. Yeah, so my salute to all
The soldiers who are out there on the front line, yeah, for the job and the service
to which you're providing to the community. Yeah, so I'm asking of your support this Saturday from 12 noon in Jubilee Park. The church also will be there. And obviously, again, you know, we have to let the police them know what's going on. Yeah. The MP has also been invited. She was at the funeral at the church. So I can't guarantee, because as you see, a lot of the MPs, their wings again are clipped. Yeah, they can't just attend these sessions. Otherwise they're going against the wishes of Parliament. Yeah, so I hope you as a community understand. I myself understand, but we're making all the provisions possible in order to accommodate our MP Kate. Yeah, so that is our duty to our community, and we're asking of the community to come out in their support. Yeah, now I am also mindful of the fact that during this COVID lockdown rehab period, a lot of us have not been able to pay proper due respect to our loved ones, in that they've not had their spiritual rites of passage. And for this reason, we have asked my brother Omawali to make his presence be known by us playing off the drums. As I said, there was 35 of us in at the marshes yesterday, a number of which were from Enfield. So we will sanctify the grounds to which our brother Julia fell. We will do libation. We will do all that we need to do, yeah, in order to pay our respect to our ancestors on whose shoulders we stand. Yeah, so we ask of your support, and that you come out with all that is necessary to satisfy what we would say the establishment, the law. That's to say, you come, you bring your mask. It's down to you whether you want to wear it or not. But the reason for us doing it in the park is that we can social distance as well. Okay? So I hope that as fulfill insofar as the information required, we will continue to post on the social networks, as well as many mentioned on the radio stations, whatever the social network is that we need to be working on. So I thank you for your time. I thank and looking forward to when you come out of rehab, fam. And for us to further engage and enlighten our community. Now, what I've also forgotten, we've got brother Tamra Gabriel, who is going to be, he's recently published a book. It's called From Rehab Back to Life. And he will be there. I've also got a sister, Hayley Venus. She will be performing, I think it's a spoken word. She herself has done something. And again, we've got Graham. Graham is going to be doing some form of performance in the music that he has been producing over the past 25 years since he's matured. So a lot of his, what do you say, his anger, his frustrations, that which he would have vented verbally, I think has been compounded into his music. So again, I'm looking forward to hear, and I'm confident because again, he had in fact performed at Hyde Park, and I was very impressed with what had been projected and delivered from him. Yeah, so I hope again that has informed. We no doubt will have speakers from the community, but and people from an international platform also that care to make their contribution. But more important, we're asking for you to come out in love for unity. Yeah, we as a community, we ain't got a community center, we ain't got nothing. Yeah, but collectively we can put demands, and that's where I am presently. Yeah, enough is enough, and I'm asking all concerns for the well-being of our community, of all community. If you've got the time on Sunday, just come and social distance with us. And I must say as well, you know, where we are at, there's a stand. Yeah, there is a stand. Where I was there last week, I think there was about 4 of us as drummers, because I had made the effort was to get us internally, that's the original family, together so that we could structure, organize in order to welcome you, the general populace, to come in on us. And to my surprise, when I went, you know, there was actually somebody in the stadium who was mentally disturbed. You know, so, you know, me being me, I started to play my drum gently. And then I started hearing him muttering and making some funny noise. I don't even know why I tell you this thing, you know. But anyway, the long and short of that, there was a madman in our stadium. And the thing is, it was a madman themselves who killed my brother, or our brother Julio. Yeah, the case is due to start back in October, so we can't say anything on the case itself. But it's really strange that there's still a mad person in the park. Yeah. But whilst I was there Saturday of last week, yeah, we reclaimed it. Yeah, Sister brought some incense and we burn it out. Yeah, so whatever evil spirit that comes, so when the drum come, everything have to just take flight. Yeah, it have to take flight. So don't worry on yourself on that. You understand? Everything copacetic. Yeah, and sorted. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, again, I'm thanking you for your time. I'm thanking Mr. Boateng, and we're saying more strength to you, sir. And the fight continues. And I'm not even gonna read. I'm gonna play on our tune. You know, I'm gonna read from the Words of Good, Volume 1, which is the Awakening, right? And on one side it says Rastafari. Now, this here book, last time I brought this book out was at my brethren Jaman's funeral. Yeah, this was at my brethren's funeral, and yeah, brethren still there with us still, you know. And yeah, when I opened up this book, now this book that I read still, you know, I so happened to buy the first book, which I've since given to David, who is my brethren's son. I'd actually purchased it from Muta Baruka,
when he was over here. I think it was what 2019 or 2018. Yeah, but I came across them yesterday after I had left the drumming session, which again at the marshes it was fantastic. You know, get dull and grey, but you see when we did it, you want to see how the sun just rise to the point where it was blinding. So it's like we call it up, but we acknowledge it because we see how nature blessed us. Yeah. But anyway, what this book says on one side, which is the left side, and you have the right side. Yeah. So I'm going to go right in our middle because of balance. Yeah. Now the word reads, life is short, but we can live and act in a way that our achievements leave us a good name forever. Yeah. I want for you to note that. Yeah. So what kind of life you want to live? That is the question. Yeah. Now on the other side, it says, one who lives good and is fair in their ways will always be led to right decisions by their conscience. Yeah? I have a conscience. Yeah? That guides my principle. Yeah? So, those of you who are listening, I mean, I say someone out there now, I don't just want to criticize people most of the time. Yeah, but you see me, Father God prepare me for everything. Yeah? So who God bless, no man curse. Yeah? So, if we don't want to stay there, watch and so, I phone a business that. But right now it's all about action. Yeah? And me telling them more time, you know. Me don't talk, because you see when me talk, my problem is me can't stop. Yeah? And if me no mind sharp, me probably spend the evening with them. Yeah, but me just put with my book. Yeah, I put with my book and I know I can find on our tune still. You know. I would play on our tune, yes. Yeah, anyway. We'll leave that out. Yeah. Good night, goodbye. So no next week. Yeah, next week we've got the sister Hailey Venus in the studio with us. And again, I hope that Graham will be here, because I want really Graham to take over this Ross thing, you know. Yeah, that's why you see. Me now say me a pet and powder him still, you know. But me feel say really and truly I am to take over. Yeah, where me can say, well, boy, you know something, I've had enough now. I'm confident to know that it's in the right hands. Yeah, so that's where I am presently. So all being well, it will be the case. You understand? So, family, let me just leave and make you go and do what you have to do, you know, because you know, have work and all sort of thing to do. Yeah? So, respect, more love, and I'll catch up with you, you know, next week and give you a further report as to what go on, what's been happening. Yeah? So, love and peace out, family. Yeah? Blessed love. Jah guide and protect you. Yeah? And deal with the situation from rehab. Now it's back to life. Yeah? So step forward in confidence. Yeah? Peace and love. Out. Manners.
Right, I think we're done.